ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्तदामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। We'll chant from verse number 11. सर्वद्वारेषु देहेऽस्मिन् प्रकाश उपजायते ज्ञानं यदा तदा विद्याद् विवृद्धं सत्त्वमित्युत। लोभः प्रवृत्तिरारम्भः कर्मणामशमस्पृहा रजस्येतानि जायन्ते विवृद्धे भरतर्षभ। अप्रकाशो प्रवृत्तिश्च प्रमादो मोह एव च तमस्येतानि जायन्ते विवृद्धे कुरु नन्दन। यदा सत्त्वे प्रवृद्धे तु, we'll start from there. So in the, let me go to that. We have seen the indicators of the gunas in our mind. When all the senses are very brilliantly functioning, we call it as a healthy body, no doubt. But when we say healthy outlook, it is not how sharp is your eyes, but how sattvic is your understanding of what you see. Meaning, when it is said that When sattva is predominant, there is prakasha. Prakasha upajayate, and it is said in verse number 11, as we saw, Sarvadvareshu dehesmin prakasha upajayate, jnanam yada tada vidyat vivruddham sattva-mityuta. It is not what you see, it is how you see. It is not what you hear, but what you hear. How you hear. So we know that eyes are there to report to us what is there in the names and forms and colors and shapes. But if our mind is disturbed or mind is tamasic, dull, then even when you see something which is, let us say, Bhagavan's form, a beautiful divine form of the Lord, yet the mind would not engage in meditation or prayer. It'd be interested in what ornaments he is wearing, what fruit is offered, how much prasad they will get. The mind is, eyes are seeing, reporting, very, very sharp eyes, but not the sharp mind. So sattva is not in the external brilliance of the senses. It is the quietude of the senses to turn away from what is seen to what is not seen. In one of the compositions of Shankaracharya, Dhanyashtakam, he very beautifully puts that what is the nature of knowledge? Tajnanam prashamakaram yatindriyana tajneyam yad upanishad sunischitartham te dhanya bhuvi paramartha nischiteha seshastu brahmanilaye paripramantah. Tajnanam. Here also says jnanam yata tada vidyat. What is jnanam? Tajnanam yat, which is Upanishadsu Nischita Artham, which is very well declared and clarified by the Upanishads. Yat Indriyanam Prashamakaram. That is knowledge which can quieten the senses. See, even as the eyes are seeing, ask this question, is my mind quiet? By seeing something, if the mind is agitated, it is not what you see is agitating, what you think is agitating. Isn't it? When I do not like someone and I see that person, what is getting disturbed is my mind, because of not the person, but what I think about that person. A picture you see, it creates passion, lust. It is not the picture creates a lust or passion. It is your preconceived notion. Is it not true that the memories about certain things are coming into your mind, and when you look at it, you get passionate about it? It is not that. Look at that same child looking at that same picture. Does it get passionate? So therefore, prakasha of the indriyas are, what is it called? That is why I say jnanam yada tada vidyat vivruddham. Jnanam vivruddham. The correct knowledge is behind this senses. Then it is called sattva. So the prakashatva of the indriyas are not because of the sense organs or the faculties are bright. It is because the knowledge is bright. Similarly, when the disturbances, when does it take place? Lobha, pravrittihi, arambha, then karmanam ashamaha, spruha, greediness, labhat lobha. When I know a particular thing I get and I succeed in that, I don't stop it there. I can get more. I want more of the same thing, or I will put my efforts to get more like the same thing. If one is famous in one particular area or a place or a profession or in a city, or you will say, I will go to another city and get famous there also. And I do another business and get famous there also. So that labhat lobha, because of one's success, it breeds that greed. Therefore, there is pravritti, extrovertedness, arambha, undertaking, karmanam ashamaha, a restlessness in the work, spruha, intense desire. These are all seen when rajas is rajasyetani jayate vivrutte. Continuing here, tamas. Oh, Swamiji, we are so familiar with that. Aprakasha. Again, it is not the senses are dull. Mind is dull. Even a sharp person, very brilliant person, when tamas comes, he is not available for his own knowledge. Gurudev used to say, even Einstein is an idiot when he is sleeping. True. You ask him a question at that time when he is already half asleep, he will not be able to answer your questions. Not that he doesn't know, but at that time his mind is not functioning in a rajas or sattva, it is in tamasic mode. So aprakasha, no brilliance. Apravrittihi, not engaging in any activity in the world. Pramadaha, at that time if he takes up anything, there will be mistakes. Moha, and mind is deluded because it is overindulging in the thought of sleep or withdrawal from the world. Or it can be a person who is under the addiction. At that time also mind is not functioning properly. At that time any decision you would take or she would take will be disastrous. Tamasi edani jayante. Tamasi pravruddhe. When the tamasic attitude is predominant, jayante etani. E Kurunandana. And he probably was Kurunandana. Oh, the descendant of Kurus who are all tamasic anyways. Now, interesting thing is, as he said in the verse number 14, interesting thing is, when a person is living in this world with a particular quality predominant in most of his life, what happens when he dies? Pralayam, Maranam. So here we see in the verse number 14, Yada sattve pravruddhetu pralayam yati dehabrit tadotamavidam lokan amalan pratipadyate yada sattve pravruddhetu pralayam yati dehabrit tadotamavidam lokan amalan pratipadyate. Yada, when sattve pravruddhe, when the sattvic attitude or quality guna is predominant, dehabrit, a person who is embodied, yati, ghost, pralayam. Here pralaya should be taken as individual death. Maranam gacchati. Then what does he or that person, he or she, would obtain as the result of that? Uttamavidan lokan. Then such a person, Uttamavidan. Tata is, this is not tata, it is printing this many years. Tada, C3. Tada Uttamavidam lokan. Uttamavidam, Uttamena, Uttamaihi vidyate iti Uttamavid. That which is known and cherished by the men of great nobility. Uttama Vidan, knowers of the highest, Lokan, worlds, Pratipadyate, obtains, Amalan Lokan, pure. Now you see, Swamiji, death no. Dekenge aur samay dekenge. Now why are you worried about? I'm just so young, 72 only. Even people nowadays get 70. So young you are, 72 only. Now one may say that, okay, at the time of death, let me see. At that time, Swamiji, I will remember the Lord. In 8th chapter also, Arjuna asked this question. Prayana kalecha kadam yeyosi, Paradarsha, Purushottama. How do I remember you at the time of prayana? How do I remember you? Bhagavan says, then remember me all the time. If you remember me all the time, you'll remember me at the time of death also. But we say, at that time only, I remember. Why should I bother it right now? Our problem is that we can think what we want to think anytime. It is not true that you can decide to think what you want to think when the things are not right. One may say, Swamiji, I am peaceful and joyful until something which is unwanted happens. At that time, what is your mind? Not when everything is fine, how is your mind? That is not the actual, quality of your mind. When things are not right, how is your mind? When things are not going right, how is your mind? Sattvic? Rajasic? Kanta avarodhana vido smaranam kudaste. In Mukundamala, there, Kulashekar Arvar says at that time, Kapavada pittai kanta avarodhana vido smaranam kudaste. Kanta avarodhana vido, at the time when the throat is choking. And at that time, the Kapha, Vada, Pitta, the three humors of human mind are in such a confusion. Because the prana is about to leave. The soul is about to leave the body. At that time, the body is working hard to keep it back, but the time has come for the soul to leave. There is a fight going on. It's ready to leave, but the body is not ready to give up. At that time, water, earth, and the kapha, that is water, vada, the air, pitta, the fire, these three elements are fighting to keep the body intact. But they can't, because without the prana, they cannot be together. What is the binding matter there? It's the life. And the life is ready to leave. So they go through a great amount of confusion. At that time, when the body is extreme agitated mode, mind is also, of course, that is also matter. How do you remember? It is only people like, a great example is Mahatma Gandhi. When he was shot at that time, he was not thinking about who shot me. Ram. Because throughout the life, there is remembrance of the Lord. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu ma manusmara. Remember me all the time. Because the last minute of your life, you cannot. So if sattva is to be kept up, when do you have to keep up the sattva consciously? All the time. Because death does not tell you and come. Knock at the door and tell you, tomorrow I am coming at this 10 o'clock. Be ready. No appointment. It can come suddenly with no notice, prior notice. It's like our what do you call Southern California Edison, power shutdown. After the power shutdown, they call you. we are actually shutting down your power. Right? It happened recently also. And it came up at some point of time. 1 hour later, we are actually restoring your power. 1 hour is over. Now you are sending me a message. If a person cannot be told beforehand that you are going to, if we come to know, then we get prepared also. But most of the time, we do not know suddenly. And some people say, I know this, he was indicating this is mere imaginations. He was talking about this. People, because of emotion, they may say so many things. So at the time of death, pralayam, yati, a person goes, dehabhrut. Dehabhrata is me, dehabhrut. Yada sattve pravrutte. When the sattva, what is sattva pradhana? Jnana pravrutte. You saw that earlier. So when the knowledge, here knowledge is not the bookish knowledge, intellectual knowledge. Wisdom is high. Experienced knowledge is high in the awareness of the person. It is often true that when you go for an exam, when you have prepared very well also, at the time when you are ready to write, if you don't remember, is that knowledge? Is it of any use? What you remember at the time when you are writing is what you know. After my Sandipani students, even this course also, and I told my students, when you go to your place, wherever you are working, when somebody asks, what did you learn? What do you say? Look at the truck that is coming, full of my books. See, it is true that in the Indian classical music, etc., they don't have notes in front of them. Have you seen? The violin is keeping notes and mridangam fellow, tabla fellow keeping notes in front of him, playing according to the notes. All are here, right? And they play based upon at that particular, that the singer was also very brilliant. He will change suddenly the ragas. Here and there he'll go. You must be ready to follow him without you getting perplexed. Try that in orchestra. There'll be chaos there. What? This is not in the notes. We see it every time during the graduation. Children who are in the kindergarten or the pre-KG or in the first grade, they don't have notes in front of them. They can't even read. They talk the most, I would wait to watch them. They talk out of their heart. They speak so spontaneously. After the 8th grade, you should say. They don't even look at the mic or the audience. And the parents are also with the camera, do the right thing. And that will get jittered. So sometimes he forgets. Sweat. So knowledge, when it is, what is knowledge here? Experienced knowledge. Jnane pravruddhe. At that time when the knowledge is predominant, that is what called sattva pravruddhe. When sattva is predominant, yati, when he goes pralayam, so amalan lokan pradipatyate, uttama vidan lokan. Now Gurudev often said, it does not mean death of the physical body. We always take it as the physical body's death. It is not. The death of the individual, the death of the ego. When a person goes into the state of total abidance and absorption in samadhi, the individuality is dead. No more that individual is present there. When that individual is dead, where does he go in the state of samadhi? Uttama vidan loka. He will reach the same state of awareness which the men of great contemplation or rishis have reached in their seat of meditation. The same state of mind he will go. After all, what is a loka? What is the world? What you see is the world. So at that time in the samadhi, what does he engage in? In the same state of mind or state of awareness, which all the rishis from the so many past ancient years, wherever they reached, he will also reach. So it is not another physical place. Loka is not another physical place. Not like Disneyland, Disney World. Don't we say when a person is not listening to you, when you're talking, especially your own children, teenagers, which world are they? Don't we say that? Meaning what? Where is your mind? What are you thinking? Oh, that world is different. That generation, that world is different. What does it mean? They're living in the same world only. But their mind, their priorities, their interests, their dwelling of what kind of friends they deal with, everything is different. And you won't understand that. Facebook world, Instagram world. So similarly, here does not mean a particular physical existence or a particular heaven or anything. Uttamavidan lokan, the words of the men of wisdom, amalan pratipatyate, which is pure, immaculate, meaning there is no ignorance. Amalan means ajnana rahitan, where there is no impurity of ignorance. Pratipadyate comes to obtain. So sattva predominance at the time of death will not take place unless we consciously bring that state of mind, sattvic state of mind, while even in the daily transaction or life. We cannot expect a magic or miracle of sattva taking place at the time of death. The words, the Bhagavan's name would not come to our mind when we are in trouble. Or when we actually are seeking his help, we don't even remember whom to call. If you have never. See, if you have not dialed a person's phone number for a long time, you might remember it. You do remember it. Nowadays, no. It's in the phone. Siri. Call so and so. You don't even remember the person's number. Why? I mean, if you are daily calling, the Siri also does not immediately you will know it. So it is necessary for us to call out for the Lord, even when our mind is not disturbed or agitated or engaged, or there is emergency there. Then such a mind can easily remember the Lord, even as the body is giving up. Yada sattve pravruddhe tu pralayam yati deha prat. Pralayam, meaning complete cessation. Now what happens when a person is, while dying, is rajasic mood? So that is said here. Rajasi pralayam gatva. Karma sangishu jayate. Tata pralinastamasi. Mudayonishu jayate. Rajasi pralayam gatva. Karma sangishu jayate. Tata pralinastamasi. Mudayonishu jayate. Rajasi pravruddhe, in the state of mind which is filled with rajas. See, rajas also, raja in Sanskrit means dust also. Mind is dusty, meaning clouded. It is full of dust particles, agitated, disturbed, unclear. So, At that time, what is unclear about it? About oneself, one is unclear. It's only looking at outside. And what kind of a world in which such a person will go? Karma sangishu. Karma sangishu is manusheshu. Meaning he will be born again in the world of action. While such a person who has a sattvic state of mind, he will go to the world of knowledge. Even in our own, spare time, what do you want to spend your time in? Go to parties. Or go for some conference and meeting the friends, etc. The mind is always in a pravritti. Then it is rajas. Oh, I have got time today. I have got some kind of, no schedule. What do I do? Quiet your mind and relax and think about the Lord. Do japa or meditation. Make your mind more available to yourself. Go deep. No. Boring. You're not ready for it. Always wanting to do something. So the physical body as well as the mind is always engaged in action, and it is often said, we tell the people, come on, sit down, meditation. Yes, Swamiji. What do? Don't do anything. Just sit. And then what? Sit. It's always what to do. So when the mind is with the rajas, it is engaged in the world of action. Karma sangishu jayate. Karma sangi, sangin, those who are constantly in the world of action. So an individual who is filled with rajas will only come back to the same world of action. Swamiji, so it is sure that we have become human beings, at least after our death. Then I'm ready for rajas. It is said that one person died, and then the Yamadutas came and picked him up. And he was he had done some punya or some sattva sattvic thing. Somehow or the other, some rituals he did, so he got some punya. So they were taking towards Indraloka. On the way, he saw one place, the door was there. Close the door. It was a closed door. He asked, what is this? What do you want to know? No, I want to see what it is. Okay. There was a small opening and a window. He looked into it. There was pizza being served, then drink was going on. People are dancing and a lot of activity. Wow, that's nice. They took him further. Another door. Sir, this is where you need to go. Open the door. Everybody is sitting in meditation, quietly, peacefully. Smoke was. In Indian, some of the Vitlacharya movies, they would show that. Saraswati was playing Veena. Brahmaji was sitting there. Oh. So this guy looked at them. Do you have a choice? What choice you have? What? No, this is very boring. What am I going to do with this? Did we go to that place where the party is going on? Are you sure? Yeah. You cannot come back, huh? Yeah, I will go. Okay. Your choice. They took him back to the previous door. Opened the door and pushed him inside. It was such a dark, hellish fire was going on. Everybody's crying and lamenting and rolling on the ground and blood and bones. Hey, this is not the place. He said, yeah, this is the place you want to come to. No. When we were passing by, I looked through the window. It was a party was going on. People are dancing. That is Windows screensaver. Really speaking, inside this is what happening. So in the world, you say, the Manushya Janma, Swamiji, I will take when it is Rajas. I am ready for it. But even in the Manushya Janma, it is not necessary that you will have the same opportunity of knowledge. In this world also, how many percentile of people who have the access to knowledge? Not the spiritual knowledge, even general knowledge, academic knowledge. It is definitely it is not more than 20 or 30% of the population. The majority of them have no access to education, or even out of education, it's maybe mere learning a language. That's it. So Manushya Janma here does not mean a intelligent living. It is mere karma. Karma sangishu jayate. Think about a person in tamas. Tamasi praline, tamasi pralininaha, tamasi pravruddhe pralininaha. When a person is filled with tamasic mode, and when he or she dies, then udayonish jayate. Muda means completely deluded, no choice. 15 hours of sleep. A bed there, every room has got a bed. Go and sleep there. Eat, sleep. Nocturnals, get up in the night and walk around. Muda. No choice. No ability to decide. Whatever comes, it has to suffer. There's rain or shine. That's why the cats and dogs who are born in this part of the world, they have done sun punya. So that's why they have access to proper food and medical attention, etc. Think about a dog living in other third world country. What choice it, or in a wild forest? What choice they have? I mean, they are staying in the same world you and I are right now. Do they have any choice? Do the trees have any choice? When it rains, can they go anywhere? Muda Yoni. Here, the Muda Yoni does not mean anything derogatory here, but they have no availability of any other option. So this is to caution us. This way is Krishna is cautioning us. Therefore, do not dwell too much in tamas, because the result is always going to be very, very undesirable. Even those people, those children who have not studied during the time when the education is available to them, access to education is there, and if they spend time in wasteful games and this and that, do you think that after some time, maybe 10 years down the line, will they be any better than anybody else around? If they don't have proper education, access to professional knowledge and the correct opportunity. They will be just living up to the mouth, what called hand to mouth, or hand inside the mouth. They can't do anything else. So the intention of these verses are to make us realize how important it is to consciously choose the sattvic qualities. And sattvic qualities cannot be brought into our mind unless we are in the company of what is sattvic. If you had no access to the external source of sattva, by itself it would not happen. If at all it happens, it's the grace of the Lord. You know, when Gurudev was, when he was very actively doing his prachar in the 60s and 70s and 80s, And he was traveling like nobody's business. He was going everywhere, giving lectures, enlightening people. You know, when I see those pictures in 70s and 80s, where was I? My thought is, where was I? How did I miss those opportunities? When I saw him, he's already 70. Think about it, when I had got exposed to Mahatma much earlier than that. And I used to wonder, those people who have listened to him still not improved. I said, I'm better off than that, because if they have listened and not changed. And there are people, even today, if you ask majority of the people who are part of the Chinmaya mission today, more than 70% of them who are satsangis, studying and then meditation and japa, they have not seen Gurudev. Yesterday also, when we had a meeting, they asked this question, how many of you have seen Gurudev or you have not seen Gurudev? Majority of them raised that we have not seen. But they are all part of the whole group of satsanga. Why? Because of the exposure to people who have that knowledge. So unless we have we make a conscious attempt to be in the company of those people who have knowledge or access to the knowledge, by itself sattva would not be there. Rajas is by itself is there, because nature of a manusha is rajas only. Rajas and tamas only maximum time we move in. Yesterday also I was just listening to Gurudev's one particular video. Is it that your child is so busy playing with toys, in a young child, which is say 3-year or 4-year-old? What is the agenda of the day for the child? Morning till evening. It will take its toys and keep playing. That means saying that it is not ready for education. Busy with that, morning till evening. Morning it will get up and ask, where's my toy? I want to play. So we can understand the fellow is not ready for education, because it will take some time for the child to come out of that mode of playing with the toys. Now he slowly learn languages and then all other things. I was just thinking, is it not true with us? We are still playing with the pleasures of the world like a child which is not ready for education. We are not ready for the spiritual education because we are still busy playing with the toys. So sattva, when it is predominant, a person will have access to the spiritual knowledge. And the person is into rajas, when the body gives up at that point of time, you will come back to the same. It is not God decides that. You decided it, because you are busy with that only. Bhagavan always said, I have nothing to do with this. Nadate kasyachit papam nachaiva sukrutam vibhahu ajnanena avrutam jnanam tena muhyanti chantava. Because you wanted that, here is the field for you. The world is nothing but a large field of opportunities where you have the choices to make. When you go to a mall and you go to Target or Walmart, do they decide what you want to buy? Do they tell you? Aisles and aisles of things. Varieties of things are available. Who decides? And they don't tell you that you should buy this. In the same way, the world is filled with things. What you want to pursue, depending upon your choice. If I choose to remain in rajas or tamas, and the result of which is either if you go to again back to the world of manushya, karma sangis, or the world of muda yonis. And if you make the choice of coming out of it and remain sattvic, then uttama vidan lokan pratipatyate. So continuing here. Karmana sukrutasyahu satvikam nirmalam phalam rajasastu phalam dukkham ajnanam tamasah phalam karmana sukrutasyahu satvikam nirmalam phalam rajasastu phalam dukkham ajnanam tamasah phalam. Now, while we are living in this world, we cannot stop engaging in action. This is karma bhumi, a world of action. As I have always told you, that animals do not have karma. They only have kriya, cheshta. Karma means action with thinking. Kriya means actionless, thinking, thoughtless action. My body is continue to digest the food, circulate the blood, all that. Is there any thinking involved there? No thinking is involved. Even if I am totally not thinking, it continues. Breathing. Swamiji, very busy. What? Consciously breathing in, breathing out. You may do it for the sake of quietening the mind, but otherwise it keeps on going. The plants are coming out with leaves, a lot of thinking. No. Prakriti. It goes on. When you put the plant and then give enough water and other things, the leaves will come, flowers will come, other things. What thinking is involved? The plant is not thinking, the tree is not thinking. Thinking and acting means you are thinking about the result of your action, first of all. Isn't that true? Anybody who takes any action, the question is why? You will tell your children. Tomorrow onwards, morning you get up and first thing you should do is, before you go to school, sit down 1 hour and study for the day and then go. Why? Anything you say, why? This is called why generation. Anything you say, why? Now, any intelligent person will ask the question. If you ask him to do or not to do anything, why? Phalam anuddhishya moodaha api na pravartate. Without thinking about the result, even a fool would not act. So the hetu for any action is phaladrishti. Thinking and visualizing the result. You may get it, you may not get. That's a different thing. Whether you get attached result or not attached, that is also a different thing. So here, if that is the case, the action is possible only when a person knows the consequence of that action. Correct. So only in human mind, there is the ability to comprehend the result of action, and based upon that, he or she can decide to do or not to do. That's why it said, yata kartum shakyate, anyata kartum shakyate, na kartum shakyate. A person can do as it is to be done, or he can do it differently, or not do it. You say that this is the way to do. Why should I do the same way you say? I will do my own way. Or I won't do it. These are the choices human beings have. So when it comes to karma, it is definitely referring to manushas, human beings, not any other action. Action which has a thought behind that. Whether it's a good thought or a bad thought, that's a different thing altogether. If it is good, it is dharma. If it is righteous, it is dharma, thought. So here, sukrutasya karmanaha satvikam phalam. When an action is thought about very well, and for the sake of majority of goodness, for the majority of the people to benefit out of it, not a selfish, self-centered action, then the phalam to that action, phalam of that action is nirmalam satvikam. So, the fruit of good action is sattvic and pure. What is good action? Not efficient action. Gurudev used to say that yoga karmasu kaushalam. It is said in Gita. Excellence in work is yoga. So he used to say in India, in Chennai, in the bus, an excellent pickpocketer who has been in the field for so many years, very efficient. You will not even know that your purse is gone. In fact, purse is not gone. The packet itself is gone. Pocket itself is gone. You removed the pocket. Yoga ka karma su kaushalam. That's what Krishna says. Efficiency in action is yoga. So who is he? Yogi. Efficiency in action is not yoga. Thought behind what he does. If it is a person, maybe a very excellent entrepreneur, he may be a great businessman, but it's all about selfish agenda, then do you call it as good work? Good work is not excellence and efficiency in action. It is how selfless is that action. So in that context, we should remember, when the religious rituals are prescribed in the Vedas, and if they are for the sake of the individual's punya only, it cannot be considered as sattvic. It is only rajasic. Unfortunately, it is true. They may do elaborate rituals, no doubt, inviting all the gods, and some 10 priests are doing it, and all different ahutis are present, all that thing, they're full of rajas. It is not considered as sattvic. Even if it is for the sake of God, you do it. But what is the agenda? In another talk, Gurudev said, some people go to the temple, they pray upon the Lord, not pray upon the Lord. Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. List is going on. Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. I want this, I want this, I want this. And he said, after some time, after she finishes and goes away, everybody thought, what a devotion, wow. Again, she comes back. Because she forgot some of the items still. Do you think that is sattvic? So all the various rituals that are prescribed in religion also, if it is for the sake of personal punya or whatever the person seeks, it is not sattvic. It's still rajas only. Or some people do rituals for the sake of destroying somebody else. You see, it is neither sattvic nor rajasic, it is tamas. The rituals will be rituals only, but what is the purpose there? What is your sankalpa in that action? Shema, Stairya, Virya, Vijaya. What is that? What is sattvic? Merely, so, sukrudasya karmanaha. Meaning what? It is selfless action. not performed with the selfish agenda. Sukrutasya karmanah satvikam nirmalam phalam, pure. Because the person, when he receives it, he knows it is Ishvara prasadena idam phalam praptam. This is gained by me by the grace of the Lord, not my effort. Ishvara prasadena idam phalam praptam. Na magma karmana. Not my action that has produced the result. It's only a request I sent to the Lord. It is His grace that has come. That is called nirmalam phalam. The attitude of receiving the result also is in the form of Ishvara's grace, Bhagavan's grace, and not because of my action. If the moment he thinks it is because of my action the result has come, then it is ahankara phalam. Ishvararpitam na ichchaya kritam chitta shodakam. So it is not because of my action that has happened. Karturajnaya prapyate phalam. It is because of a kartu Ishvarasya ajnaya, because of the Lord's blessing that has happened, not because of I did it. So satvikam phalam nirmalam sukrutasya karmanah Ishvararpana buddhya kritam karma. It is performed with an attitude of and also it is said, in the case of a person who is doing the action with the sattvic attitude, tasya phalam karmani eva na karma phale. Karmani eva sukham prapyate. So by the action itself is the fulfillment for the person. In a sattvic action, you don't wait for the result. If I am a musician, a singer or whatever, or even if I'm an artist, a painter, whatever, when I engage in that action of doing, and there itself, if I find the fulfillment, I don't wait for claps from the audience. Because I am able to enjoy the very action itself. My mind has become clean and pure, and it is able to dwell in the action itself fully, blissfully, then it doesn't matter whether somebody is appreciating and somebody is congratulating congratulating me for that. That is sattvic. It's not waiting for the result to happen. So karmani eva sukham tasya. Tasya sukham, sattvika purushasya sukham, karmani eva, na karma phale. And that is the reason why that a person is unattached to the result also. It doesn't matter to me. Because I am enjoying the very action itself. How does it matter whether this result is going to come at all or not? Or if somebody takes it away, let them take it away. So, karmanah sukrutasya karmanah phalam satvikam nirmalam. Rajasastu phalam dukkham. Whereas on the other hand, a person of rajas who is doing with great selfish interest, his attention is not in the action. Even while he is engaging in action, there is a part of his mind is agitated. Will I get it? Will I get it or not? Will I get it or not? And also, can I get it without doing the action? First thing you will ask, because the result is important to me and it is so selfish interest, first thing you will ask, without action, can I get it or not? If it is not, then I will do it. And therefore, while doing the action, half of his mind is preoccupied, anxious. Even in meditation, people say, Swamiji, what will happen? Nothing will happen. So why should I do it? See, if you are before sleeping, are you anxious whether you will sleep or not? Will you sleep today? Yeah, you will. How do you know? How do I know? You sleep, you will know it. If you are anxious whether you sleep or not, then you will not sleep. So a person who is anxious about the result, even while engaging in action, he will not be happy doing that. The mind is disturbed, anxious about what is going to happen. And interestingly, not all actions will give this result in the same way. If all actions that we do will give the result that we seek, nobody will be a failure. What is a failure? What do you mean by failure? Not doing is okay, understand, and not doing you will not get anything. But while doing, when a person does and still not get it, then what is the reason for that? Understand, there is no direct relationship between karma and karma phala. Kartu ajna. That element we forget. We think that action of a particular kind should result in this result. Then nobody will be a failure. Anybody who acts will get it. But that is not the case. There is an unknown hand decides this, and that unknown hand is not Bhagavan, but Bhagavan's command. Meaning what? It's a law. Not that he interferes with that. There is a law he has laid down and he walked away from that. That law decides. Does the judge decide the punishment or the law decides the punishment? You tell me. It's a judge's to will. It's a judge's choice to punish that person or not. Is it so? Then what's the need for a law book? A book of law decides what punishment for what action. The judge is able to correlate that. He will refer to that point. Okay, these are the points that are leading to this particular, punishment. That's all. That's why he will read out the section. According to section so and so, according to section this and that, accumulated together, you get this much. It is not, okay, I decided that you go for the 20. Why? That's I decided. Agnya. Kartuhu Agnaya Papade. So, in the case of a Rajasic person, the action itself is not an engagement of joy, much less will be the result that person would get, because it need not be. Even if it happens to be the right result he gets today, there is no surety that tomorrow he will get the same thing. No, definitely not. That's why Bhagavan says, Gagana karmano gati. It's very difficult to understand karma. He very clearly says, karmanasya cha bodhavyam, bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha, akarmanasya bodhavyam. Gagana karmano gati. Deep inside is the understanding about karma. So one aspect is the law of the Lord deciding what should result in what. Second aspect is your own karma decides past action. You may say that I'm very qualified and I am efficient. I'm finished my action also efficiently. Therefore, the result should come. No. Why? Because your past decides the present result. If I had a wrong, I have ruffled the wrong feather with you. That's what they say, right? I have did something wrong in your with something which is undesirable to you, maybe a year back. And today I am trying to be friendly with you. You will have a shield in front of you. Today I may be very friendly with you, but when you come to look at me, you will have definitely the past of my action deciding the present response of yours. Correct? If I have scolded you for whatever reason, or if I have hurt you for whatever reason, even today I may be lovingly approaching you, but my past will decide your present reaction. This applies everywhere. Not only that past which is immediate past, my past which is many lives back, which has been accumulated by me, that comes into action when I do an action. The result is decided by those also. So then, not only Ajna of the Lord, my own karma in the past also decides this. So how can you therefore say every action of mine should result in the same thing which I want? And when I don't get, what is the result? Dukkham. Rajasasya phalam, dukkham. Why dukkham? Because it's not the way I want. It's not the thing I want. Not only that, because it is karmana phalam, it is born out of action. Therefore, being karma being limited, the result also will be limited. And when the limited action can only give it limited result, how long it will stay? How long it will stay? You may be giving your wife the rose bunch of the bouquet today for her birthday. But 1 month later is the wedding day. If you don't give, I gave it to your birthday. That is that day. Now you didn't give. You forgot. The best way to remember your wife's birthday is to forget once. You will, for the lifetime, you will not forget. What you did in the past, forgotten. I mean, in this context. So, Rajasasya phalam dukkham, when it is said, Rajasasya phalam alpam tasmat dukkham. It is limited. See, even as the sattvic action is also limited, the result is not necessarily eternal. Krudi mahodadau patana karanam phalam ashashvatam. Phalam ashashvatam. Gati nirodhakam. It is ashashvatam means not shashvatam. It is not eternal. It is so limited. So, when we understand even sattvikam phalam limited only, but why is that it is a nirmalam phalam sattvikam, what called sukridasya karmana? Because as I said, he is not depending upon the result for his joy. Here phalam does not mean the result of action. The phalam results what results in his mind. A sattvic mind is able to enjoy the action itself. Therefore, the phalam can be ashashvadam, but he is not affected by that. Whereas a rajasic person is entirely depending upon the result of his action, and while engaging, it also is in a mind of disturbance. Obviously, result being limited, result being undesirable many times. Result is not what he expects out of it. Dukkham. Rajasastu phalam dukkham. Oh, ajnanam. Tamasa phalam. A tamasic person, first of all, to get him to act itself is a very difficult process. Get up. Why? You have to go to school. I'll do in Zoom. But at least for that, you have to get up, no, recorded. Isn't that true? Even our Palvihar people, they may register for this online class, no doubt about it. But many of them are, why? बाद में देखेंगे, आज Sunday है ना, बच्चे लोग, they are in the Zoom, we will sleep. But anyway, Swamiji will put it in the YouTube. I've heard 14 chapters many times. I'm telling you, every time I take chapter, I speak differently. If you ask me to speak the same subject, then tomorrow it will be different. Because the thinking is important at this point. Not what I said yesterday or 10 years back. I have taken this 14 chapter at least 8 to 10 times in my, complete 18 chapters I have taken at least 10 times. But every time I read, something different comes to my mind. It cannot be the same. It's not their notes written and keep reading the same thing. Some people do that. So, ajnanasya phalam, tamasa phalam ajnanam. Meaning, a person who is in the tamasic mood most of the time, and such a person engages in an action, he still will be stuck in the same place. There is no visible improvement at all in that person's behavior, action, thinking, maturity, understanding, perception, nothing. Status quo, dark. It is like this. I'll complete with one small joke. Not joke. So one person was standing near this window and was looking down. Then two workers, the city workers, were working seriously on the road. One person was digging, another person was filling it. Another fellow went another 2 feet or 5 feet away and he started to dig and to put the sand aside, and second fellow came and filled it. This guy was watching, was so agitated, he went down. What you guys are doing? Yeah, he's digging and I'm filling. Why? Actually, in between us, there was one more fellow who was supposed to come and put a tree. He didn't come, but we are doing our work. That is called tamas. You understand? No thinking. I am doing my job of digging. He is doing the job of filling. The third fellow didn't come. So what? What do you think of it? We are doing our work. That is called tamas. Doing action, but no purpose. There is one animal, who constantly runs. What is it called? Hamster. Huh? Hamster. Hamster. Eat, then treadmill. So go on doing the things without any thinking. Nothing will improve. Tamasa phalam ajnanam. More and more delusion, more and more darkness only in such a mind. So it is this way Bhagavan Krishna points out the importance of understanding our mind, moods, and unless we consciously change the course of thinking, our life will not have any improvement at all. Interestingly, these things he has taken towards almost the end of Bhagavad Gita. Having said so many things, now he says at least do these things. These are all sadhanas you do. Do not ever think sattva will happen by chance. Nothing is going to happen by chance. You have to engage consciously in replacing rajas and tamas with sattva. Let's see more of it in the next class. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhaved. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Please stay back. I have something to